Welcome in to Talking Racing with Mike Ray. I'm Dave Richmond, the producer and co-host. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll put all the spotlight right now on my good friend, Mike Ray. Let's talk some racing. How are you, my friend?
Good morning, Dave. I tell you, man, what a great day to do the show. The morning of the Daytona 500, episode number 175, YouTube TV number 3. Going back a couple of weeks, Preston Pielter won the Chili Willy 150 at Tucson, Arizona. You know, Martin Truex Jr., we talked about him last show, winning the Clash out in L.A., and that thing was, it had a lot of highs and lows in it, but I think the fans really enjoyed themselves out in LA, and it was good for the sport to get us out in California since we won't be running out there this year. Martha Jarrett passed away, so I always have good memories of her sitting in the van when Dale beat out Dale down there at the 500 that year. And then, like I say, man, golly, today is the day, Dave, the 75th anniversary, the Daytona 500, man. The sport's come so far since 48, man, and just a great day in Daytona Beach, and a lot of good stuff going on. Hendrick Motorsports on the pole. We've got a Larson up there, second quick. Bowman was quick. Just so many people that those Hendrick cars are looking good, but the Fords are looking good too. And I know that as the story goes on later in the show today, we'll be making our picks, and I'm going to jump right out early, Dave, and I'm going to go with a young Ford driver this year, the number 41. One of my good Yankee friends from up north, young Ryan Preece, driving for Stuart Haas in the 41 this year. So want to wish Ryan Preece a lot of luck today, and man, it's just going to be a great show.
No doubt. We're glad to have you. By the way, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can follow us on Twitter at TRMikeRay1, at TRMikeRay on Instagram, and don't forget to like our Facebook page. Mike, we are rolling, and in fact, for people that don't know that are listening to the podcast, we actually are now streaming on Facebook and YouTube. So make sure you can check those out on archive after the fact. It's a brand new year with 2023, and this is the race that everybody talks about, the Great American Race. Very excited about it. We're having an opportunity to do the show before, as we talked about the Daytona 500, and this is the race that really kicks things off and really puts everything in gear, right, Mike?
Oh, it gets it all in gear. You know, be coming on this afternoon, 2:30 this afternoon on Fox Network. So everybody tune in for that. Dave, it just is the start of the season. We have our largest race of the year to kick off the year down in Daytona. So much history from the beach all the way right through to when Big Bill built the track back in the late 50s, and Lee Petty won the first event down there then up till today. And yesterday was the 22nd anniversary of when we lost Dale, and just so much playing into it. And there's so many storylines today. Full field of cars. Austin Hill didn't make the show, but he ran good, and he got the win last night in the Xfinity show. My man, Dark Horse Gray Gauldin, was running well until he had a hiccup on the last lap. They went into extra laps last night, and he was a little bit short on gas, but he still had a good run. I think he brought it home in 18th. So a lot of good storylines, man, all week long down there. Going a little further south to New Smyrna, the World Series of asphalt stock car racing down there. Big money Matt Hirschman, Dave, won every modified, tour type modified event that they had down there this past week. Rained out Friday night. There were a lot of my friends at the track. My crew chief, Bonda, Joe, Little Robert, they were all there to see Joey Coulter run so well. Joey had a strong week down there in the Rum Runner Racing. the 0-2, shaking it down, getting in. You get about a half a season in down there, Dave. Used
Yeah.
to be 10 nights of tour type action. Now it's down to 5, but you can get a half a season in down there to kick off the year. Joey ran third one night this past week down there in his modified. So, but big money had it on them all week long, my friend.
Of course. Hey,
Want to give us, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
we got someone wants to say hello to you. Jay Wayne Clark, happy 500 day from Alabama. So thank you, Jay. Jay Wayne, appreciate you very much.
Oh, Jay Wayne Clark, man, one of my good Bama buddies from down there. Me and him have a good rivalry, good college football rivalry each and every year. Yeah. So Jay Wayne and beautiful, beautiful dog. His
Who's
dog Tara. Uh, Jay Wayne and his wife. They good folk down there, and a big Alabama supporter, man. So want to wish Bama good luck in 23 this year. I know that Nick is working hard, getting things lined up for the program down there, and just like me and Kirby and all the boys in Athens, man, we're looking forward to another great year of college football. It never stops, Dave. Whether you're racing or playing football, you know, we were talking in the green room before we went on the air. Your Pirates swept a doubleheader yesterday.
Yep.
State won up here in Raleigh on the ball field yesterday. So a lot of action, whether you like college football or stock car racing or baseball, whatever sport you pull for, go out there and have a great time with it. And want to give a shout out to Jay Wayne because he's a great guy, man. Great guy.
By the way, last night in your hometown there, Raleigh, how about the Stadium Series on ABC? Over 57,000 people were in Carter Finley Stadium where NC State plays football, and they had the Stadium Series where the Hurricanes beat up on. We love you, Michael Diaz, but the Capitals lost 4-1 last night. Canes are looking really good. They're red hot right now, Mike, and so a lot of people that are Canes fans like myself are very excited about that sport.
Oh, very excited about hockey last night over at Carter Finley, Dave. The stadium was a golly, man, that place was packed. So many fans were there, and what a great run last night by the Hurricanes. And I hope that we're able to bring the Stanley Cup back to Raleigh this year, man. Later on in the season, as the hockey season winds down and everything, just so much good stuff going on. Uh, Dirt news, might have mentioned this last week, but Tyler Erb won at East Bay. They ran Volusia all week long this past week down there. Mike Hare had a lot of boots on the ground. Charlie and Mr. Brown and Andrew Tyree were down there representing Wake County Speedway Thursday night for the twin duels down there, and Mike Hare has been he and his bride have been over at Volusia County all week, and like I say, my crew chief, car chief, the whole Jeffries family was at New Smyrna this past Friday night enjoying things down there. So, man, just this is a way to kick the season off, Dave. Just so many storylines, so many great stories coming out of Daytona this week.
No doubt. And by the way, you have, let's go ahead and do Dave's mailbag. I'm going to put you on the spot here. You can email the show at trmikeray@gmail.com. Any questions, comments, concerns? Again, we told you this year we're going to have more guests. We promise. Now that we've got our YouTube channel, we have our streaming going on Facebook Live and our YouTube channel. Mike, I'm going to put you on the spot. It's Daytona. Before we ask, we're going to save, we're going to make people wait for the end of the show as far as who's going to win the Daytona 500, the Great American Race. But I want to ask you, off the top of your head, who do you think is going to win the Cup as far as the end of the season? Who's going to be the champion when it's all said and done at the end of the 2023 season?
Golly, Dave, there's been so many great ones running so well, and I know Chase Elliott is hungry again. I saw a interview with him earlier this past week, and he thought he left something on the table this past season, and Joey Logano, man, is always good. Sliced bread, you can't ever count him out. Harvick, running the retirement season or whatever you want to call it this year, because yeah, I don't see Harvick. Harvick's not going to retire. None of us retire, Dave. That's kind of a misnomer, because even if we go to a different division or a different series, we stay in the sport forever. So, golly, there's so many great storylines coming out. Uh, Jimmy Johnson running down there today, and legacy racing, and golly, there's just so much. And Charlie Hanson was with the King Thursday night down there and got a great picture with the King, man. So, Superman, super.
Yeah, we'll go. I was thinking about our good friend, well, not our good friend, but one that we like, Kyle Busch. I think that he has, if you haven't had a chance, folks, make sure you see on Freevee, if you have a Roku or if you have the Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV, on Freevee, they have a free documentary, call it Freevee. It's called Rowdy, like I was telling you. So it's a really cool documentary. If you're like me and Mike, we love racing so much. I love anything I could get my hands on like that. It's great to know more about the sport. He's one that comes to mind. You talked about Chase Elliott. I thought about him. And one of our sentimental favorites, will he ever make it? Will he ever do it? Denny Hamlin, do you think he has any kind of shot this year?
Denny does have a shot. I thought that he held back Thursday night. Now, Bush looked mighty strong until he and Suarez got together, and Daniel hit him wrong and turned him into the wall down there in one of the qualifiers Thursday night. And Bush and the Childress team, they've been working hard getting that backup car ready for today. I think Bush has got a good shot in the 500 today. Denny is always a player. He's got 3 500s and looking for a fourth today. You really, that the way the 500 is, Dave, nowadays, the way that things are, it's not like it was in the 70s. I know that everybody likes to go back and relive the battles of Pearson and Petty and everything, but normally there were about 5 cars back in the day that could have competed for the win. Anywhere between 3 and 5 teams that were above everyone else, so to say. And nowadays, you have 20 or 25 teams, and anybody can win from any spot.
Yeah, that's what not to the past, but the fact that we have more competition in the sport than ever. Every year, it seems to be more and more and more competitive.
It is so competitive down there, Dave, and there was so many cars that showed up this year. Trucks went home Friday night that didn't make the field. Cars went home yesterday for the Xfinity Series. I know that when we were down in '74, when we went down, there were 56 cars that were signed in 1974 to compete in the 500. So it looks like more and more teams. This new car that we've got second season, we're shaking this car down. It's allowing more and more teams to come into the sport. Greg Alts won the ARCA show yesterday. A good one for the little guys, man. So good to see Greg do well down in Daytona yesterday, and wanted to give him a shout out. So much going on. The night number 1 at New Smyrna this past week, Derek Griffin won. Jason Boyd has got a Florida sportsman car for rental down in Florida, and anybody that knows Jason Boyd, when he shows up at New Smyrna, he shows up ready. Ron Silk, I've got to give a shout out to Ron Silk. He won the first NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour Series race a week ago Saturday down at New Smyrna. Doug Barnes Jr. won the Icebreaker at Florence. Mason Diaz has gone with Chad Bryant Racing this year, and he had a great run at Florence. Was in podium finish down there. His teammate lost some lead and came across the stripe weighing a little light, and so it got DQ'd and put back at the back. But they'll get that weight hooked up properly in that car, and golly, man, there's just so many storylines, Dave. We'll have open practice this coming Saturday, the March. Let's see, no, not this Saturday, but 2 Saturdays from now, on March the 4th, we'll have open practice at Southern National Motorsports Park in Lucama for all the series, and then on March the 11th, we start the Cars Tour season at Lucama. So great seats available, tickets available now, camping spots available, trackside parking available. Check out snmpark.com. The website is up and running. Michael's done a great job with that. I think Mark Arson helped us last fall, and I don't know if he's helping us again or not, but I hope he is, because he's the internet guru, I like to call him. He doesn't want any applause or hands on. He's kind of like Mr. Brown. They like to stay in the background, but you've got to give them a shout out, man, because of all the great work that they do for the different tracks around the area.
I mean, it really looks good. If you want to get a chance to check it out, I'm looking at it right now, wcspeedway.com. Again, wcspeedway.com. And man, Mark has really done a great job with that. And a dear friend of mine, as you know, and a dear friend of yours, he's just one of those guys that, when if you had if not that we want to be violent, but if you're going to war, who are the people you're going to pick? You're going to pick the Michael Diaz's of the world. You're going to pick the Charlie Hanses and Mr. Brown. You're going to pick Mark Arson. There's so many people that like that. When it comes to racing, this particular, what we're talking about, those people, I would definitely want them on my team. I'll put it to you like this. I'd rather them to be on my team than on another team competing against me. So,
yeah, you know what, Dave? I love people that work, and all of these guys don't hold back. I didn't know. I think I'd asked Michael for a job before, and I've told the story before, but I don't think I'd ever met the man, and might have spoken to him, but didn't know who he was. And first time that I can ever recall meeting Michael, he was scrubbing down the ice cream thing out there at the track, getting ready to go for that. So, I mean, all of us like to work and like to surround ourselves with workers, and you just can't beat it, man. Can't beat it.
Jay Wayne, by the way, if you have a question, put it in the Facebook comments or the YouTube comments. You can put there. And by the way, Jay Wayne Clark has a question for you. Will old number 7, Jimmie Johnson, get a top 10 finish today, Mike?
I think that Jimmie Johnson can get a top 10 finish. That GMS racing team is mighty, mighty strong, and Murray Gallagher and everybody with Legacy Motorsports, they've been putting that team together for years and years and years. Joey Coulter, when Joey got out of the truck series and went dirt racing, a lot of his equipment went over to Murray. And Murray, they've expanded it, and they've got a strong, strong team down there. Anything is possible, and Jimmie Johnson could end up in victory lane. Dave, you're really looking at I would say 25 or 30 cars down there this afternoon that can win the 500. Things are just that competitive, and if you can keep your nose clean and stay out of the big one, that's what it's all about, my friend.
Oh, no doubt about it. We're very excited to see Jimmie Johnson. And by the way, Mike, you know how you and I really don't have anybody. I know you were talking about earlier your pick or who you want to win the Daytona 500. I personally would love to see it this year. Nothing against the big teams that we always talk about, but it'd be kind of cool for the sport to have an underdog, wouldn't it? I mean, that would be kind of cool.
So cool. And this young man that I chose, Dave, Ryan Priest from up in the Northeast. Ever since I've known him, uh, uh, pre NASCAR days at New Smyrna when he was driving for his grandfather in a Florida modified, a young one then. When I saw him run modifieds at Caraway back in the day, I think Ryan was about 16 years old then, strapping in. A hands-on driver, can work on the race cars, loves working on the race cars, twisting the wrenches, and there's just so many great storylines, my friend. That there's so many people that are capable and have got the skill set and proven wheelmen that can get the job done this afternoon down in Daytona.
Is there a paint scheme on a car, that we're kind of like the racing nerds? Is there ones that you've seen off the top of your head that maybe different or that are kind of cool, maybe a different sponsor? I haven't had a chance to really look at that, and I'll see it this afternoon for the Daytona 500.
Well, when you talk about cool, I think the big storyline this week has been Travis Pastrana and what Travis does and action superstar and motocross and then running with Scott Speed in the in all of those series and he brought Black Rifle Coffee into the game and he's got a third seat this afternoon with 2311, Denny and Michael Jordan's team. So they could be a sleeper this afternoon. It's just going to depend on keeping your nose clean, Dave, and missing the big one when it does happen because the guys will get to jockeying. It's like yesterday. I'm so proud of Sam Mayer running so strong and running at the front of the pack. And it wasn't too many years ago that he was running right here in Raleigh at Wake County Speedway. And now the young man is down there driving for Junior in the one car at Daytona. And the next thing you know, he's upside down on his lid, sliding down the back straightaway. And things happen mighty, mighty quick at Daytona. And people do not realize just how narrow that track is. The track is a 2.5 mile super speedway, but if you ever go to Daytona, take that tour that they offer.
Yeah.
I've been taking that tour since the early '70s when my mom and daddy took me down there, and the track is really not too wide. It's driving through 85 in Atlanta during rush time. The lanes are wider in Atlanta than they are at Daytona International Speedway.
In fact, I've done that for Charlotte, and of course, I've been to races at Charlotte, but Talladega is ginormous. Like, what's funny about Talladega is I thought that looking at how I knew it was big, right? But when you walk from where we parked and you look to your right, you look to your left, and you're like to me, I was like a little kid in a candy store, how big that track was. And then that he told us that you have to drive I think he said 70 miles an hour going and went with that 15 passenger van on that banking from turn 1 to 2. He said, if I don't do that, then we could flip over. I'm like, yeah, you need to drive faster, sir, drive faster. But that was really cool, really cool. That track, to see it on TV, I've said this before, Mike, I'm glad that we have stuff on television and streaming, but when you're there's nothing like the sound of the roaring engines and having to see how the strategy and see things happening maybe sometimes that from a bird's eye view that maybe the TV can't do. We were talking that before. Those of us that have multiple obligations, it is nice to be able to watch like I'll do this afternoon, the Great American Race in my living room.
Oh, it's so nice, Dave, and back in the day when I was young, I could walk the whole track. Next year will be my 50th anniversary of going to Daytona for the first time, and I used to could walk around that whole track and not get winded and everything, and then now I'm glad that I have the luxury of sitting at home and have such a great coverage from NBC and Fox and everybody that brings it to the game. TV contracts are coming up and we'll see how it all plays out. this year and next year with the new TV stuff. But man, it's like being there. But if you ever get the chance to go to Daytona and check it out. It should be on everybody's bucket list, especially if you're a gearhead, man. There's nothing like the feeling of going to Daytona for the first time in your life.
Would you like to see maybe part of the schedule on a streaming service like with Amazon has the NFL now, the Thursday night games, and Apple purchased I've got it now, every single soccer match I'll be able to watch on Apple TV for Major League Soccer for MLS. Do you think that's something that NASCAR, I'm not saying the whole entire package, but to try to get some younger they always, unfortunately, when we're getting older, they're like, you got to go younger, you got to go younger. But is that something you would do to attract maybe the 20 somethings or the teenagers to the sport?
You know, Dave, we're headed that way in the streaming services.
Like
I,
Peacock?
I streamed New Smyrna all week long, and it worked out good for me as I've gotten older and everything. You know, if I was down there this weekend and I wasn't staying in Daytona, it takes me an hour and 15 minutes going back up 95 just to get to Daytona from Palm Bay, and then some of these nights at New Smyrna, like Friday night at New Smyrna, when the rain came in, I was just so glad that I was here in Raleigh, North Carolina, and not in Palm Bay because I love Florida. It's very nice down there. Temperatures are great. Love seeing my family. Haven't been since my mama passed years ago, but streaming is a good way to go. You can sit right in your home. I'll be having a little one person party today. Me and Minx Ray right here watching 500 this afternoon, having a well of a good time. Watching things.
Yeah, Mike, we got some comments here. Question, fun fact: what is Chase Elliott's real name?
You know, that is a great question, Dave. I would have to Google that and
No.
see. I don't know what Chase's real name is. He's always been Chase Elliott since he was a little kid jumping over the pit wall at the North South. I've watched him grow up in the sport, and I've just always called him Chase Elliott. So
All I've ever known.
yeah,
You have somebody you know very well that wants to say hello. It's your brother George Ray, enjoying the episode, brother, and in fact said, loving the show from Florida. So there you have it.
yeah, very nice down there today. Now, see, that's the good thing about being down there, Dave. This morning when I woke up, it was 37 here and 65 in Palm Bay. So I mean that's a 30-degree swing. Now, yesterday it was a 10-degree swing, and it was beautiful up here in Raleigh. Day before yesterday, on Friday, we had such great weather up here, and uh, it didn't have me wishing for Florida, but every now and then, but I'll have a great time in Raleigh, North Carolina today, watching everything on Fox Sports this
By the
afternoon.
way, Jay Wayne Clark has the answer if you want to know what Chase's real name is.
I do.
All right, let's put it up on the screen for you. It's actually Clyde the Third.
Clyde the Third.
There
I
you
did
go.
not. I did not know that.
William Clyde Chase Elliott. This. Oh, he said. I'm sorry. The second he put up here. Okay. So Billy Elliott. He has his name William Clyde Chase Elliott the second.
Did not know that. What a great trivia question.
Definitely racing royalty, right? I said it sounds like royalty. William Clyde Elliott the second.
Yes, it is, and he is racing royalty. Uh, Back in the day, when Wild Bill had that number 9, that Coors Light car. Golly, man, he was
one of the best.
one of the best, and Ernie building engines for that, and the whole Elliott, a lot of history out of Dawsonville too, Dave.
Awesome,
That's
Bill.
golly, man, that's a
You bring it
lot
back.
of lot of rum running up there in the in the hills of Georgia. So a lot of history in those hills. Raymond Parks, uh, Lloyd Seeley. Golly, man, you just go back and think of all the great ones that have come out of there and helped to get the sport to where it is nowadays. So that and I want to give a shout out to NASCAR and the France family and everybody that's working in that unit. I saw Alex when he was going into work this morning, and the setup for everybody and the way things have changed down there. I've sat coming out of four. I've sat going into one. Um, the track is just really they've made it so fan friendly down there for fans of all ages and what a great event it's going to be this afternoon, my friend.
Can't wait to 2:30 on Fox. So those of you that are streaming right now, you're probably the people that watch this show and listen. They already know the times. They're diehards, and hopefully we can expand the support and of the sport. Will support maybe for many many years. We need more fans, and that's why we've been doing this show literally now for 4 years in our fifth year. Mike, hard to believe, but great to have you. And thank you so much for. I have the honor of being with Mike Ray, and we're going to work really hard to have it every week. We've been trying really hard. It's now that we've stepped up to the TV deal, it's a little bit harder to. Before we could be recording the show down the road, so to speak, and now we're having to pick times. But thank you for your patience, your support. You're such a great friend. You've been rock solid, and as Charlie Hanson gave you the best moniker, the nicest man in all of racing.
We try, Dave. That's all I can say. And don't worry about the young ones coming up. Got to give a shout out to TJ Moon, bando driver with Redhead Racing. They had a great weekend down in Florida at the Winter Nationals down there this weekend. Carson Hillslip, legend driver. So a lot of young people. Olivia Murray,
Oh
a
yeah.
lot of young folks down in Florida this weekend, keeping the sport growing and alive. Phoenix was down there running. She's moved up to a Legends. So just a lot of great things. And I know that we're pushing time, Dave, but
So
it's always fun to be with you, my friend.
no doubt. In fact, everybody to like our Facebook page. You can follow us on Twitter at TR Mike Ray 1. On Instagram, you can follow us at TR Mike Ray. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. And coming soon, Mike, we're going to be coming soon to TikTok. So look out. We're going to be cool and hip like Mike Ray. And we're going to be on this week. We're going to work and have us on TikTok. So that's going to be coming very soon, in the matter of days before our next show. You'll be able to catch that out. And we have time for, I believe, one more comment. Let's see if we can get that in. Oh, thank you very nice to Jay Wayne Clark. Enjoyed the show. Continued success. Thank you, Jay Wayne. We ask you to do all that for us on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And make sure you spread the word for us, because Mike is a great guy and we're trying really hard to grow the show for him. It's not about me. It's about him. So thank you very much, Jay Wayne. We appreciate George Ray, Mike's brother, and everybody else that's been tuning in. Thank you so much. And Mike, I know we're on everywhere, right? As far as the podcast.
We are, Dave. TR Mike Ray 1. We're on Spotify, Geo Savan, Stitcher, Podcast Addict, Google Podcast, TuneIn, Player FM, Radio Public, Castbox, iHeart, Apple, Podchasers, Deezer, Amazon, Radio.com, Loud Notes. We're everywhere, Dave, and growing by leaps and bounds. And it's all about the fans, Dave. I couldn't do this without you and Bubba and Kyle but we do this for the fans to get out and hope they have them. William Byron had a great week this past week at New Smyrna, picking up 2 super late model wins down there for Donnie Wilson Motorsports. So just racing news all over, Dave. Get out wherever you are. Support your local short track. Support NASCAR. Whatever you like, get out and enjoy it. Life is too short to be unhappy, my friend. So get out and have fun.
All right. Until next time, you've been watching and listening to Talking Racing with Mike Ray. Good day.